Welcome back to radforlife.com, the home of the RAD SEL lessons. This is lesson 5, making RAD moves. Let's do a quick review. So far we've covered all of the letters in RAD: recognize, accept, and do. We learned some skills for each of those letters, including recognizing the differences between thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, labeling our thoughts and feelings as comfortable or uncomfortable instead of good or bad, and we learned about the importance of accepting uncomfortable thoughts and feelings instead of fighting them. Last, we practiced identifying our values, the big ideas that reflect the person we want to be. So now that we've done all that, what's next? RAD moves. Now I can see you're worried. What's a RAD move? Am I going to ask you to dance, or worse, am I going to make you watch me dance? No. So what's a RAD move? RAD moves are when we do things that are important to us. They are actions that align with our values. If our values are like a compass that guide our actions, RAD moves are actions that go in the direction of that compass, towards our values. Now the opposite of a RAD move is, wait for it, a not RAD move. These are actions that do not go in the direction of our values. They deviate or go away from our values. Let's use an example to understand this. Let's say a person values honesty and they find a wallet full of money with the ID still in it, which means they could find the owner of the wallet. Now, do they run off to the collectible store and buy rare martial arts axolotl figures with that money? Or do they return the money they found? Returning the money would be a RAD move. It aligns with their value of honesty. Not returning the money? Well, that would be not RAD. Now, once again, I know what you're thinking. You're wondering, what if I value being unique and having those collectibles aligns with that value? Nice try. One thing about your values is that you can't use them as an excuse to do things that are hurtful to yourself or other people. That's just not how values work. Of course, in life, only doing RAD moves is impossible. Being human means making mistakes. However, a great goal in life is to keep doing more RAD moves and less not RAD moves. Living a RAD life means making more moves that align with your values and what is important to you. Oh wow, look, here's our collectible adolescent axolotl. He escaped from his packaging. Above all else, he values helping others. Cleaning the beach? Obviously a RAD move. Littering? Clearly not RAD. Now, when life is going well and things are going our way, doing RAD moves is usually easier. However, there are lots of times when making RAD moves is clearly hard. Look at this example. Given the history between our axolotls and the lawyers trying to stop them, making a RAD move would probably be hard here for our aquatic hero. Perhaps you might prefer a more realistic example. Imagine you value kindness. A classmate is sitting alone at lunch. A RAD move would be sitting with them or inviting them to join your group. A not RAD move would be ignoring them or even making a joke at their expense. Of course, doing that RAD move might be hard. Perhaps you're worried about what others might think. Perhaps you're really nervous about approaching a new person. There are lots of reasons why making RAD moves can be hard. In the next lessons, we'll learn more about what can make RAD moves hard, and we'll learn what to do about this. However, for now, I challenge you to think about your own life. Take a second and think, what's one RAD move you've made this week, and what's one not RAD move? And remember, everyone makes both. However, again, one of the goals of RAD is to help you make more RAD moves and less ones that are not RAD. If I had to summarize this lesson, I think I would say this. When we live according to our values, our lives become more meaningful, connected, and true to who we want to be. However, living according to our values means doing things that align with them. We're not just thinking about our values, we're living them. Unfortunately, doing these things isn't always easy. Still, that's the point of making RAD moves. Not to be perfect, but to keep doing the things that reflect what matters most to you so you can live that RAD life I'm always talking about. Oh, and I almost forgot. Until next time, be RAD.